Hey everybody, amprepairguy.com, 203-892-4119. So we have another Ameritron Al-811h. I'm waiting on parts for other amplifiers here. So one of the 811s flashed. So I looked at the plate choke. They did a poor job winding it at the factory, so I'm going to replace it with a new one. This thing was made in 2021, so it's not that old. Ground the grids the better way. So we'll take that whole assembly out. Just take it out anyway to change the plate choke. I'll go through the rest of it and I'll be back. See you guys soon. Okay, I'm going to show something here. I always remove the MOV off the board, which is on the tube side of the filament choke. It's usually over here. Sometimes it's over near the caps at the end, right here, or it could be on the board over here. I just bend it back and forth till the leads snap at the board so I don't have to stick my soldering iron under everything. A lot of times when a tube flashes, it'll take that out and it's a pain to change, but you don't need that with the gas discharge tubes. I also remove the later ones have a gas discharge tube right here on the board right here. The problem is you still have to it's going to flash, it'll go through all of this before it gets to the gas discharge tube. So I take that out, and I always put them at the bottom of the socket. So if a tube flashes, which is unlikely with a 572, it's very likely with an 811 with the ones from China. You know, if it flashes, it'll bring it to ground right at the socket instead of going through everything else. I also directly ground the grid to chassis instead of going through the screws. A lot of times the screws are like the nuts are finger tight, and you add more inductance when you go through a steel screw versus going right to the chassis. I've never seen anyone else go right to the chassis like this. So, you know, think about it. You'll end up going through the screw to the chassis, then through the standoff, then back to the main chassis. So it's a better way to do it. So I always do that. And I also replace the screw for the plate choke. They put a little tiny one in, and sometimes it can break because you're not catching much of the threads and it'll break. So okay, I'll be back. See you soon. Okay, I'm back with the completed Al-811h. I always check the set screws on the vernier drives to the air variable capacitors. The ones on the load side were completely backed out, and when I turned the knob, the capacitor would not move at all. So that's all. That's set. That's good. I put a longer screw in the top of the parasitic assembly. It had the little tiny stubby one that was barely catching the threads inside the ceramic. Replaced the plate choke. Soldered everything really well. The straps are in good condition. You saw what I did underneath the sockets. Did the 10-meter mod. Cleaned the rotary switches with deoxide gold. The air variables are in good condition. Meter protection diode's good. And did remove the MOV like I showed in the gas discharge tube and added in below the socket. So when you take the shaft out, always be super careful because you can end up damaging the input rotary switch, and they are a pain to change. I've been lucky I haven't had to change one. And I always mark the shaft, the front and the back, so lines up. I think that's about it. It's Christmas Eve today. I don't normally work on the weekends, but I took 3 days off working on the 6-meter amp. That RF deck is ready. I'm just waiting on the parts of the power supply, and I'll get that done. And then I'll do a power test. So, tomorrow's Christmas. So I wish everybody out there a Merry Christmas. And I will be back to work on amplifiers on Monday. I have a lot of other amps here, so just wanted to get caught up. Got this done. So, well, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Oh yeah, SO239s are good too. Always check those. 73.